What's going on, guys? It's Zach. We are back with a full hamstring and glute workout here. I hit this workout 2 days ago and my hamstrings are killing me. I can't move. I'm in a wheelchair, basically. So let's jump right into it. So doing some lying hamstring curl here. And the biggest thing with these, again, stability. So locking that upper body in, locking those hips into place, and then, focusing on getting that hamstring as short as possible. So I'm biasing the shortened range with this machine. And so, really thinking about driving that quad down through that pad, keeping those hips locked in, and wanted to work up to like a heavy set of like 8. And this is the heaviest set I went here. And just really happy with how the execution is looking, so far. Obviously at that end range, getting that full contraction doesn't necessarily mean getting that pad all the way to your butt, but just taking it as far as you can take it with the muscle. So just an awesome movement to start out with, because you're getting that mind muscle connection, getting that hamstring primed, to fire for the rest of the workout. So now normally I'd go into a deadlift movement, but I was kind of feeling changing it up. So went into a hip thrust here and working on hitting like a heavy set of 6 was shooting for. So just kept going up. I think I ended up hitting, I think this was the top set right here, 365. And just focusing on, I think about driving down through my heels, and then I think about flexing the glutes hard at the top. And that really helps me feel it. I feel a decent amount in the hamstrings, in addition to the glutes. So, and we went from, a knee flexion movement, to start out with, to more of a hip flexion movement here to hit the glutes. And now we're going to go into pretty much a hip flexion movement here. We're going RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, and pretty much going, I probably didn't need the platform. Looking back at the range of motion, you don't really need the platform, but going toes up to really emphasize driving through the heels. And you'll see from this next angle, it's basically all about getting those hips, letting those hips sit back, pretending like there's something behind you that you want to touch with your butt, and staying within your active range of motion. So letting those hips sink back until you feel that pull in the hamstrings, and then pausing. And then what I like to think about is driving. Just don't think about pulling the weight up, because you'll use your back. Think about driving your heels down hard through the ground to initiate that movement. And these were just brutal. I think this was my top set here, because I started to feel pretty fatigued in my lower back area, I think from doing the hip thrusts. But just a really, really awesome movement. And you can see that the range of motion here, I'm not coming all the way up to the top, because I want to maintain that constant tension on the hamstrings. So, and I'm not going all the way down to the floor. A lot of people end up, they go all the way down on the floor, their back rounds, they feel it in their back more than their hamstrings. Stay within that range of motion. Go down until you feel that pull in the hamstrings, pause, drive those heels through the floor, and flex the hamstrings hard. So went from there into kind of a combination, a combination movement here, getting a decent amount of knee flexion, decent amount of hip flexion as well. We're going heels high on the platform and close. So normally when I've been doing this lately, I've been going heels high and wide to try to get my knees outside of my body. But just wanted to change up the feel a little bit, going close, and you'll see just how close in this next shot here. But really just focusing on letting that femur, your quad, come as far up as you can get it without your hips coming off that pad, and then focusing on driving through the heels again and what I'm kind of thinking about is getting my femur as close to the ground as I can, and driving that knee down towards the ground is kind of what it feels like, to really emphasize the hamstrings. So this was an awesome movement. I supersetted this movement with the Abductor machine, the what is it? The bad girl machine, I think it's called. So I was going back and forth and just kind of wanted to work up to something that I could hit for like a heavy 6 to 7, 8. So you could see here just how close my feet are together on the platform, and I was really feeling that in the outside of my hamstring a lot. And this is a movement that you're not gonna be able to isolate just the hamstring. So I did end up feeling a little bit of quad activation actually, which is fine. I should probably throw in a few quad movements on this hamstring emphasized day anyway. So this was a good one to add in. And so right here, this is my top set. So locking down the execution, and then we're gonna do a drop set. So if you can get up off of the leg press each set, if you have some cool gym buddies that'll unrack the plates for you, that's even better. Unfortunately, everyone was busy, but so drop set here, and just focusing on maintaining the pace and maintaining execution, every single rep. So letting those knees come up and back, but still driving that lower back hard into the pad. And it got brutal. It got pretty brutal. I mean, you see, I'll taking a little break in there, but here's the lightest set, and just trying to, at this point, your legs are filled up with blood. You're just trying to maintain that pace, and I see a lot of people that like, they get down to this low, like 2 plates on each side, and they just pumping it out. Spend some time at that in the hole there. Build that tension up, and you can see right here, I reached for the safeties to rack it, and then I was like, no, you got like 5 or 6 more. So at that point, you're just busting them out right here. And yeah, you can just see, I'm just gonna lay here for a while. Don't worry about me. And I think somebody was like waiting to use the leg press, which makes it even worse, because you're like, geez, I really gotta move, but you just can't get up. So like I said, I supersetted these with the bad girl machine right here, and with this, I like to get a slight lean forward at the hips. None of this standing up, and I don't know what the bikini girls are doing out there, but just going slight lean forward at the hips, and really try to focus on your knees. Just focus on driving those knees out, and I like to throw in like a 1 to 2 second pause, if I can. And these are something I have to remind myself each week to kind of throw in at least 1 or 2 sets of just to build that outer glute area. And you can see right here at the end, just kind of repping it out, feeling that burn. And finally, finishing out with, you guys know this movement. If you have not seen the previous hypertrophy mindset episode on seated hamstring curl, check that out, where we dive more into depth about a lot of the cues that I use on the seated hamstring curl. But finishing out with these, biasing that lengthened range of motion with this machine, and really just wanted to go pretty heavy for a heavy set of like 8. And this is the heaviest set here, and you guys really can't tell how heavy this feels and is. But watch the range of motion. You're gonna see how the range of motion decreases, every single rep, but I'm still maintaining the same execution. So you can see you're just doing some partials in that end range just to burn it out. So this was an awesome hammy and glute workout. If you guys are digging that content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out Hypertrophy Mindset episodes. There's a playlist for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.